you're close for close friends group. Acquaintances, you can't really do anything about it, to be honest. But like, you're really close friends. You hold influence over your best friends,
right,
and your best friends hold influence over you. That's just how it works.
Fair.
They hold influence, you hold influence over them.
Yeah.
So if there's one that's acting up, you know, like I was wilding out 2021. If they just said, you know, you go find your, you know, I can't be your friend anymore, what am I going to do? Bad people in isolation are going to find more bad people in isolation, and the devil's going to attack you.
Right. He's going to find people who don't have those same values and say, okay, so you're cool with this. Let's all go do this together.
So now you have a bad person become worse because of your bad advice to your significant other. Like, you can't be friends with him or whatever it may be. That person becomes worse. And now, who has influence over him? More bad people.
More bad people.
And they go do bad things, and they don't ever change. All right, welcome back to another week of the Real Deal Podcast. Do I usually say another week? Another episode. I was like, something feels off. I was like, hold on.
Okay.
That's not really what I say, huh? In my defense, I guess I'm a little bit tired, but that's how Saturdays go. So welcome to another episode of the Real Deal Podcast. I was like, that doesn't feel right.
Hey, man.
That just doesn't feel right.
It's okay to say something different every now and then, man.
It just didn't feel right.
I understand. I get it.
It's like, wait, hold on. Something's missing here. But here we are with myself, Mr. Brandon Haley, and the greatest co-host in the world.
Hey, man. I just work here, man.
Mr. Cleon Deal.
Happy to be here, man.
Define work, because you're not getting paid to be here.
Yeah, well, this is indentured servitude. But
for
we're
the
here.
People, for the people,
It's
baby,
for
for
the
the people. And without the 1-2 of you guys that listen every single week, I'm just kidding. There's multiple people who actually listen to a full episode, at least like 5-6 of you guys.
That's nice.
Within a week time frame, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Consistently and every single week. So especially you guys, shout out to you guys. We definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Because even if it was just one person, I mean, even if it was 0 people some weeks, we would still be doing this. But it's definitely cool to see that, like, on a consistent basis, that there's 5 to 6 every single week within like the time frame, within the week time frame. We look back and see those analytics. It's very cool. So appreciate you guys. And that doesn't even count the YouTube live reruns or anything like that.
Yeah.
All the shorts that we post as well. So I appreciate you guys that give me feedback on give us feedback on the shorts and stuff that you watch. And people say that some things help them, and you know, that's what we're here to do.
That's all it is, man. That's what we're here for.
That is what we're here to do, is help you guys through our own personal stories, thoughts, and experiences in life that we have done, and to help you guys. And with that being said, August is almost over. Humidity in Florida is almost gone. Well, we probably got another 2 months for that crap. But
yeah, I mean, we're in Florida, so
fall is coming, and
maybe.
Well, for us, maybe in like 2 months.
Yeah.
But you know, other states is basically here. But what's definitely here is the fourth quarter of the year, and fourth quarter of the year, and that's when we started the podcast last year. So we are pulling up on almost a full year.
Yeah.
I guess 46 weeks, right?
Yeah.
We might have missed a week, but we're almost on a full year of doing this, so that's pretty cool. And fourth quarter, if you are so behind on your goals,
your 4's up, baby.
your goals, whatever it may be, now's a good time to reflect and reset,
reframe,
and I tell you what, like, third quarter was not the most productive for me. You know, it was not the most productive for me, but the next 3 months are going to go by so fast. So really start to see what you didn't do in the third quarter and go ahead and start building or rebuilding those habits that you lost in quarter 1 and quarter 2. So that way, when New Year's rolls around, you know, you already got a little bit of skin in the game, back with your good habits. So Cleo never falls off. He doesn't know what it's like to be a human being sometimes. He just gets it done no matter how he's feeling. Sometimes, I operate based on how
you feel.
How I feel.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And we still get the job done. It just sometimes takes a little bit longer.
I just do things because it has to be done, man. It's not because I feel like it, not because I want to. It just got to be done. It's just what it is.
It does. And I put that proverb about work on my watch. So I was like, just need this little reminder right here.
Yeah, man.
You don't always need sleep.
Sleep is overrated. You'll catch up, man.
Eventually you will. Yeah, literally you will. It is it is important. I want to say it's overrated. It is important.
Yeah, it is important.
But too much sleep is overrated. You know what I'm saying? You only need no more than 8 hours. You could function off 4 to 6, but definitely no more than 8 hours. So get your 6 to 8. Get to work.
Get rolling, baby. Let's go.
I think that's all for random stuff that we got to talk about, right? Just random things that we be thinking about. I feel like I had something else to say, but with that being said, we're going to move into today's topic. So what? I have no idea again.
I've been having fun just asking you questions, man. I've just been having fun.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have a guest. They keep canceling. So maybe this week or next week we'll have a guest.
It just be like that.
But
sometimes.
we just somehow just been like, what are we going to talk about today? We'll go through a couple things, and he's like, well, I'll just ask you this question, and then we'll plan this out or whatever. So, right, that's what we're going to do.
Here we are, baby.
Here we go.
So, as you know, as everybody knows, I'm in constant war on TikTok. Constant war. Every day, I'm fighting for my life. It's me against typically about 15 women and one or two men. No, sometimes it is different ones that kind of pop up, and then we'll go for 3 or 4 videos, and then they'll fall off, and then somebody else new comes, and then the other old people come back.
Yeah, they always come back.
They always. Moral of the story, they always. Well, not they all, Brent. I don't need you thinking that they're gonna come.
If you block them, they can't come back.
There you go. Well, they can. There's always another way.
There is always a way. Yeah, that is true.
So I was having a discussion basically about the importance of community. More importantly, community while you're in a relationship. So somebody was trying to make the point to me that if, let's say, actually, this is how I'll ask you this question. You've had friend groups, yes?
Yep.
Okay. So in those friend groups that you've been in, have you ever had a friend in that friend group who wasn't treating their partner to the best of their ability, whether it be infidelity or being dishonest or things of that nature?
Well, I think that you have your close group of friends, and then you have your acquaintances.
Okay.
So you can't really be fully associated with your acquaintances and what they do. But your close-knit friend group, you do have influence over them, and they have influence over you. So if they are doing those kind of things, they're probably going to rub off on you.
Okay.
Well, repeat the exact question. Though. That was my preface of the thought.
So have you been in that group where somebody's been doing that, or have you been that person who's been doing that?
That was my first thought. Okay. I was like, I know I have definitely been that person. Yeah. Not necessarily with the infidelity part, but just with the incorrect treating of your significant other. But that was just based on my own knowledge at the time. You know what I'm saying? Just, I talk about it so many times, that very first high school breakup, you know what I'm saying? That kind of like damages you for a little while if you don't actually heal from it. And then you react in relationships based on what happened to you in the past. So 100%. It wasn't always correct. You know what I'm saying? It was like a lot of insecurity at first, so I wouldn't treat them correctly or be very, very jealous. Yeah. Had to get rid of that. And then after that, it was like conforming to what that other person, what they thought their wants and needs were. Right. So it was like those little things, and then you're not technically treating them right because you're not being a man in the second one, and then in the first one you're being jealous. So I guess in both of them you're really not being a man. But that was the emotional intelligence that I had at the time. Right. So that's the only way I could have reacted. So yes and yes.
So were your friends aware that you were doing that? Like, did you guys talk about it? Did you tell them stories?
No, we wouldn't really talk about. The only thing we'd ever talk about would be like after the breakup. Then it's like, you have you as a guy, you have certain guys where you can talk emotionally with,
Mm-hmm.
and then certain guys that you can just be a guy with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really talk about like your best friends, but you don't really talk about feelings like that. You know, you really talk about sports, business.
Yeah.
You talk about relationships here and there. You know, be like, love you, brother. Here for you if you need anything. But you don't always talk the full detail. They'll know most of the details. Then you have your emotional friends that you can like talk like full detail. Like, hey, bro, like I'm really hurting. I'm depressed. Things like that. But yeah, like at the time, that's just like the emotional intelligence that I had. They wouldn't know or not. So they didn't fully know because I didn't tell them.
Okay, gotcha. So have you been in a situation where your friends fully knew, or you knew of your friends fully kind of doing something incorrect or something that you would, define as not good in their relationships?
Acquaintances, yes.
Okay.
Friends, no. No, like real close friends, no. Acquaintances, yes, but then it's not my place to say. Like I'm not that close to them, so I don't have that much influence over them. So I just watch from afar and be like, oh, that sucks for her. It's like,
So that was going to be my question. Kind of how did you handle that? But you didn't feel like you were close enough to really do anything or say anything on that situation.
yeah, and I wouldn't, because especially it's like one of those situations, like if I don't know you that close, or if I don't have like an emotional relationship with you,
Right.
I'm not going to tell you how to act because you're just not going to listen.
All right.
I'm just going to watch from afar. It's kind of like how they say the smartest people are usually like the calmest, and the dumbest people are usually the loudest. It's kind of like in that situation. So I'm not going to provoke somebody to get loud because I know like it's not going to solve anything. At the end of the day, we can just try and prevent those women from getting into relationships with those kind of guys. But sometimes those things need to happen because failed relationships are sometimes the best teachers. So once they fail, and this is a important thing for women to hear too.
Yeah.
It's like once as hard as it can be to get out of a bad relationship, sometimes that guy needs it the most. And it's going to hurt him, but sometimes he needs that to grow to the next level.
So she should hurt him.
Sometimes, yeah. How many times, like the amount of times like I've been hurt, I'm so thankful because I would have never grown without it. So, and this is exactly what I told the other girl that, who we were talking about, that was going through like that long-term relationship with, dealt with infidelity and stuff. And she's like, it's hard. I'm like, it's going to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. Any kind of ending of a relationship is hard, but like he needs to go through this, and you need him to go through this, regardless. Even if you wanted to try and work it out or not, like he needs to battle his own demons and get through this. Because she's like, he's super religious and stuff. So I'm like, okay, so why is a super religious person acting in this manner?
Yeah.
You can't just take him back, because then you're okaying his behavior. No, he's got to go learn and grow. And sometimes it's that pain that allows them to do so. Right.
Okay. Cool. So, reason why I'm on this breadcrumb of questions here. Because basically, what the discussion mainly was about is that if they were saying that obviously if you're friends with a guy, and let's say you have a friend group and this guy is, let's say, being manipulative toward their partner or cheating on their partner, then it is those friends' duties in the group to say something or to isolate him from them in order to help change his behavior. Now you brought up a good point in that we don't always talk to each other about the things that we're doing.
We don't. So we don't really know.
We may not have any idea that it's going on. Number one, that could be a problem. But number two, the question that I really had asked was, so if I decide that I do know about this, right? Let's say in that case, I do know I have a friend who is consistently cheating on his girlfriend. Cool. Not cool, but cool, right?
Right.
I'm aware of this.
Yeah.
And what should I do? Right. There was a group of people saying you should talk to them. There's other people saying you shouldn't associate with them. And I'm like, well, how do I know the behavior has changed?
Yeah.
After I've said something, if I decide to isolate from them.
So I get this would have to figure out like what is the definition of a friend, because I have, we have our college group chat with like 20, 30 guys in there. If I know somebody in there is a habitual cheater, which I know there's one in there, and he's still like into whatever age we're getting into, like the age group is like 28 to 32 or whatever, 33, in that friend group. I know he's a habitual cheater. If I see him, I say what's up, and I'm cool with him. He's part of our friend group. But so every relationship he gets into, I need to go and like find out he's in a relationship and reach out to that woman and tell her.
No, they're saying you need to talk to him, not her.
Oh,
because
talk to him.
Yeah, talk to him.
It's a lost cause, though. You know what I'm saying? That's what at the end of like. Some of those situations is just a lost cause. You could say it, and it's just like, do most people who believe in God know that sinning is bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they still do it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I can tell them that sinning is bad, right? And that God hates sinners or God hates sin.
Yeah.
And we could love God and still sin. It doesn't always, just because I tell them, hey, you shouldn't be cheating on your girlfriend, or hey, you should start to work on yourself a little bit more, doesn't mean that they're going to do it. Yeah. Especially if they're not that close to you. Now, if somebody is sinning and loves God, what can I tell them to help them? I could just say, hey, I can only try and lead. I'm not going to even talk about sin. I can only try and lead them to create a better relationship with God.
Now, that's an interesting point, right? Because, like I said, part of it that they were saying that you should do is isolating that person, because if everybody stops being friends with them because they're doing this, then that'll make them actually think about it and change their behavior. But obviously in this case, if we're talking about you sinning and you talk about trying to get closer to God so you can stop those things, we found that the best way to do that is to get in community, to have those people around you.
Exactly. So that, I think that is a invalid point. So why would you want to isolate somebody? You isolate a bad person, what's that going to make them do? Become better or become worse?
Well, according to them, if you stop being friends with them, this is going to make them think about it, because men want validation for other men. So if they're not getting it, then that means they're going to change their behavior.
Men will always find validation from other men if they're sleeping with a lot of women, a lot of good-looking women, make money. Like that's or they're in shape. Like that's how men get validation, or have really cool tattoos, because people who compliment it. Mostly dudes all the time. You got really cool tattoos in the gym all the time. Like they're going to get that validation from them regardless or not. Internally, guys would seek female validation, and that's what they get from sleeping around.
Right.
So they're going to get that regardless. So isolating them in, I guess, religion, who loves when you're isolated from community? The devil. So you think that a bad person isolated from good people is going to help him or make him worse? That's just, so you're going to make that bad friend even worse and make him hurt some other female even worse because of your bad, whatever the word I'm trying to look
behavior.
Like. Yeah, well, like your bad suggestion to the friend group.
Right.
So maybe think about all the variables, because you put a bad person into isolation, they're going to become worse, not better.
Right. Yeah.
That's just in my opinion. Like that's how it works. So the best thing to do is to maybe have the good people draw closer to this person
and try and hold them accountable there.
But you also have to understand too, is like how many people are really living the way that they should be living, like living godly lives, or like trying to get as close to God as possible to live that kind of lifestyle, not drinking, not partying, not sleeping around, doing all those things in that friend group. Probably not many of them.
Right,
like,
that's a good question.
People are still doing that. So isolating them away from that isn't going to really do any good. I mean, it's just like sometimes like when you pick your friend group, like that's your friend group. Like it's not too much. You maybe add a couple here and there, but that's kind of what it is. You're kind of in that group. So unless he ups and leaves the group willingly, that's the only way like he'll really change. If he's in a group of people that are going to do that, he's just going to continue to do that.
Right. So that was kind of one of my main things. I'm like, at the end of the day, people are only going to change when they decide to. I'm like, if this is my closest homie, you know what I'm saying, and I can tell him every single day, hey, you know what I'm saying, you got to tighten up, you got to stop, you got to X, Y, and Z. He still has to make that choice. And I'm like, hey, whether I'm friends with him or not, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I'm not friends with him if it changes, but I know if I'm there, I'm at least a voice in his ear to tell him to, you know what I'm saying, to
I'm
bring
sure
him back.
they were probably talking about like closer knit friends, not necessarily.
Sure, yes, yeah, closer knit friends. Yeah.
So I was thinking like more of acquaintances. Closer knit friends, yeah, I think you would handle it a little bit differently.
Okay, so how would you handle that?
I mean, if you're talking about it, because even with your very close friends,
yeah.
So it depends. You have your close friends, right?
This is a friend who's vocal about them cheating on their wife. They have fun, like they enjoy it. They're having fun, and they're coming and telling you about their escapades. And I know men don't really do a lot of that. Not, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we know, sometimes we don't. But let's say that's the case where he's in the group chat talking about stuff like that.
Typically, even if they did do it, yeah, you probably still wouldn't know, because that's kind of a thing that it's not like people start bragging about it. And if you do, that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
But if they are vocal about it, yeah, I mean, yeah, I would agree. Yeah, have a conversation, but I'm not going to make a bad situation worse by I'm not going to be a friend. Like, hey, you probably shouldn't be in a relationship, but that's how you're going to act. You made a commitment, especially if you're married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
especially if
you
you're
made
married.
a commitment. You have a godly covenant. You have a wife and kids, or a wife, no kids, whatever it may be. Like, that was your decision. You proposed. You said you wanted this. You guys planned a wedding. You went to the altar. You said yes. Why after so-and-so, why would you do that? You know, just like the Coldplay incident. Why not just leave? Like, what do you need? Why not just leave at that point?
Yeah.
I would have a conversation, but I'm not going to push the buttons every single day.
Yeah. I think
at the end of the day, like you said, they got to change if they want to.
Yeah. I think part of the argument was that you shouldn't want somebody like that in your circle. And I'm like, maybe not. Because obviously you wouldn't want to be associated with something like that. Because like they say, birds of a feather flock together. If they were doing it, then that means they're probably doing it. That means they're probably doing it.
Agreed.
But like you said, on the other side of that, if there's no voices of reason around, then who's supposed to help them get better? You know?
God.
You're right, God. And that because really what it was is that I was getting yelled at because they're like, why are you trying to give all these women advice? You should be telling the men to X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I'm trying to help them avoid this, because I don't think you should have to go through it. So I'm trying to give you things to avoid it. Like, well, you should tell them to just be better. And I'm like, I can do that. I can certainly do that. But changing their behavior versus me helping you change who you decide to associate with, it might be a little bit easier to make that change, because we were talking about bad men. And I'm like, well, bad men still get chosen every single day.
Oh, yeah.
So if bad men aren't getting chosen, then maybe they'll decide to stop being bad. But as long as they keep being chosen, there will be certainly a reason to keep being that.
Yeah, so you got to talk to the bad women that keep choosing. So this makes me think of this. I have two best friends, right? They're both married. One has kids, one doesn't.
Okay.
Or one has 3 kids, one doesn't have kids. They were both, one was married in 2021, and the other one was, with his now wife in 2021. So they were both in committed relationships at the time. I was not.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And I was still living with one who was.
Okay.
I was living the what do you want to call it?
Bachelor lifestyle?
Yeah, bachelor lifestyle. Let's call it that. I was having a good time doing what I wanted, chasing validation through hanging out with women, doing all this stuff. Had either one, well, I guess they kind of did at the time. They're like, yeah, he's a little crazy or whatnot, But they're both still my best friend. They're not going to be like, hey. They're not just going to be like, hey, we're throwing you to the wolves, man. I can't, my girl said I can't be your friend anymore because, like, you're a little playboy. Like, you're going a little crazy, man. And, we're in our situations to where, we're with our future wives or our wives and stuff like that. And I lived with my other best friend who was in this committed relationship all the way up until he got married. And this is like still when I was drinking and partying and doing all that. Had she had said that, we, then what? We'd just never be friends again. So it was like I was maybe the bad influence or the bad friend. It's not like I wasn't cheating on significant others or anything.
Yeah,
crazy
you were
like
just
that.
out there turned up.
Yeah, just a lot of multiple situationships at once. And like that was the lifestyle that I was living at the time. And you know, thank God for growth.
Yeah.
We do appreciate that. But that was the lifestyle I was living.
Yeah.
Did he ever have a conversation and be like, hey, you should probably stop doing that? No. He's like, you know, maybe you shouldn't drink as much.
Yeah.
And, you know, now I don't drink. But it's like, at the end of the day, like I had to go through my own journey and grow when I felt the need to grow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And grow closer to God and just grow and mature. Anything that he would have said about that probably wouldn't have really affected me at the time because I was just living a life how I thought I wanted to live life.
If he had decided to stop being friends with you and said, I'm not being friends with you because of how you're living now, would that have prompted you to change anything, do you think?
Absolutely. No, probably go worse.
Okay.
Now it's like, okay, now I'm still living this lifestyle. Now I lost a good friend for what? Because this is how I want to live my life. Just stupid. It's bad advice.
Yeah.
Don't be that person.
Interesting.
Don't give that kind of advice. And if you are a significant other with a friend, it's like sometimes you do have to trust your man, even if they're around a friend that is like that. Because I was around them.
Yeah.
I lived with them.
Yeah. But they weren't living like that.
Yeah. I have girls come over, and not all the time because I was respectful of the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would be out all the time and stuff, and sometimes it would happen to where they would come over and stuff. But I was still respectful of that situation. It wasn't like all out like every single night a different girl's and like it wasn't crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like super respectful of the situation and knowing like, hey, he's still in a relationship. I'm not gonna make his house that kind of house.
Right.
But yeah, you know, I was living that kind of lifestyle. You know, just going crazy, partying, situationships, all that kind of stuff. But he didn't say, oh yeah, man, you gotta only talk to one girl at you know, you can't be living a lifestyle like this, or we can't be friends. You know, it never really happened.
Interesting.
I grew up.
I had a girl tell me in the comments, because I'm like, well, because I also made the point, I'm like, women often aid their friends in this behavior. I don't know why we're acting like men continuing to be like, I don't know why that's we're acting like that's an outlier. But this one woman said, well, when we get married, we don't hang out with turn up Tanya who cheats on her man all the time. And I'm like, well, because it does. She said because it doesn't align with where we are in our life at that point. And I'm like, that's why women don't stay friends, because you decided that lifestyle and was okay and it aligned with your values all the way up until you got married, and then said I can't be friends with you anymore because that's what you are. And I'm like, so it aligned with it before, but now you're married and it doesn't align with it now. Yeah. I'm like, you're that's not a good friend to me.
What changed your title?
You got married, and it's like the person who gets rich and doesn't come back to their friends. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm rich now. I can't be hanging with y'all. Y'all not.
You don't fit my lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
Women do be doing that. They be like having new best friends all the time. It's like
all the time. Now we know why.
Yeah. It's like,
I have a man now. Y'all like to go out and party. I can't hang with y'all no more.
I'm not gonna say the names, but it's people that work. But it's like, oh, this is my bestie. You know, I'm like, bro, you just met her.
You just met her 2 weeks ago.
And they'd be like so emotional about it. Like, oh my God, bestie.
I love her. She's the prettiest girl on earth. Her soul is so beautiful.
I'm like, you met her less than a year ago. How is she your best friend?
Your best friend
in your 20s,
and you don't have any friends.
You don't have a best friend.
That have been longer than that.
That's
I'm like,
hey, start waving the red flags.
Every time I hear something, because that's what happens, right? They will meet some girl somewhere, and then they hang out for like the next month together, and now they're everywhere together.
Yeah, why do women do that? That is crazy.
Because that's how they want to move in their regular relationships.
That is crazy. Keep that stuff away from me. Yeah, you do. I do realize that we do see that very often.
Very often.
Especially working in nightlife. It's like, why do they...
You out here with a different group.
Why are you recycling your best friend so much? It's just like, oh, and she did this. Now she's not my best friend. It's like, why did you claim her as your best friend before you knew what kind of person she was?
Right. Y'all just
be doing that. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy. Guys don't. Like my best friend, I met my best friend in 6th grade.
Yeah. Anybody who I claim as a best friend, I've known them since for at least like 10 years. I'm getting old. Jesus.
I know.
I've known them for at least 10 years at this point.
Next year it'll be 20 years.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's some old stuff, man. We weren't best friends when I met him when I was 6th grade.
Yeah,
but then I went to a different school. And then when I came back, that's when we became best friends when we were playing football together.
Yeah, I got a group chat of people I've known since like elementary and middle school. You know what I'm saying? People that I met in college.
But you got women. Women, why y'all do that? I'm actually perplexed now. I was like, why do y'all have so many best friends? Like, can you? This is a question we got to ask the next female guest. Like, how many best friends have you had in your life?
Yeah, that's a good first date question.
Yeah. All right, fellas, it's a free game. See if this works. I don't know. I never tried it. But ask a girl how many best friends she's had on a first date. And I guess if the answer is more than 2, I think that's a red flag.
I think so.
That might be a red flag because that's just crazy.
That's
just crazy. Why do you have so many?
Or also, like, how old are you? And then how many best friends have you had? Basically, in the, I guess, how often do you cycle through these things? I'm sorry. What's your longest friendship? Your longest tenured friendship? The person that you consider a friend right now. How long have you known that person?
That is true.
Oh, we met in the bathroom 6 months ago. That's my best friend. All right, yeah, we can't do this.
I mean, this might just be because, like, where we work. I don't know. You're gonna have to ask. In the regular workplace too, just because where we work for so long.
Yeah,
and I've just seen it for so long. There are girls that I know that have had like best friends since they were in high school and stuff. But it's like in the industry that we work in, you really see it, and you see it often.
Yeah,
women will have best friends, and then a year later, their best friend is not their best friend anymore.
Yeah,
and then they're like, "Oh, we're not friends." I'm like.
Why
y'all so emotional? Like
and you
that?
talk her like she's the. And also, first, since we're on the topic, I wasn't even gonna get into this, but why when girls be friends, your friend is the most beautiful girl in the world, but then y'all not friends no more. Now she ugly and everything else. How is it? Because if she's that now, she was that before. Make up your mind.
And then she's for the streets and all that.
Now she's fat.
She was at the whole time, baby. She was at the whole time. You actually met her on the streets.
Y'all were the same person at that point.
You actually met her on the streets.
That's why I be having trouble when we're like, oh yeah, my friend, she the baddest in the world. And I'm like, do you like her as a person, or does she actually look like that? My question, that's what my question, girl, is now I'm like, if y'all weren't friends, would you still be saying this to me? And they always pause. And when they pause, I'm like, okay, that's the answer that I needed.
It is funny to see. And then also on social media, you know, when a girl posts a picture, she ain't even got it. The girl can't even look good. I mean, obviously the ones that look good get the same comments, but it's like all their girlfriends on there, like, oh my God, slay,
take my breath away.
You're the hottest thing.
God sent an angel himself. I love it. It's girls' comment section is amazing.
You know there are no more angels, right? You know you don't die and become an angel.
Oh yeah,
All right, that's just something I learned this week, so I want to share it with you guys. God ain't sending no more angels for you, or he ain't making no more angels for you,
unless it's Brandon.
Yeah.
Ding. But yeah, I mean, I just thought that was an interesting. So basically, moral of the story: you don't feel like isolating somebody who you consider a friend when they aren't treating their spouse, you know, in the manner that which they committed to. You don't feel like isolating them is a good solution to help fix that problem, because I'm looking for the changed behavior, not because that's holding them accountable by saying something, but holding somebody accountable, and if you want to see a change, you have to be there to see that.
So I want to know what your answer is to that question as well, but mine is the same thing. It's like you're close for close friends group, you know, acquaintances, you can't really do anything about it, to be honest, but like you're really close friends, you hold influence over your best friends, and your best friends hold influence over you. That's just how it works.
Fair.
They hold influence, you hold influence over them. So if there's one that's acting up, you know, like I was wilding out 2021, if they just said, you know, you go find your, you know, I can't be your friend anymore, what am I going to do? Bad people in isolation are going to find more bad people in isolation, and the devil's going to attack you.
Right. He's going to find people who don't have those same values and say, okay, so you're cool with this. Let's all go do this together.
So now you have a bad person become worse because of your bad advice to your significant other. Like you can't be friends with him or whatever it may be. That person becomes worse. And now who has influence over him? More bad people.
More bad people.
and they go do bad things, and they don't ever change.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a friend group, you still have influence over them, right? My friends I consider them to be great people in great relationships, right?
Right.
If I'm acting a fool and I'm seeing them never do it anymore, or act a fool less, because I still got my other buddy.
Right.
When he goes full speed too. But he ain't allowed out the house that much. but he'll turn up and get crazy. Now I'm the calm sober one,
Right.
Which is crazy because I used to be
It's crazy to think about.
the middle center of attention of the entire friend group. So now I'm just the laid back chill one. But watching them, that's going to make me be like, okay, maybe this lifestyle isn't for me permanently. And I see their lifestyle, and then I reflect on it like, oh, maybe I need to find ways to act more like this and act more like that.
Yeah.
And then I grow, and then sometimes I feel like my emotional maturity has grown even more than some of theirs, because just because I don't drink or do any of that, and I'm never in like any group chats like sending reels of women or anything like that, because how guys are still gonna have their locker room talk, like regardless of what you think, ladies, like we'll look at a girl and not touch, but think like she's attractive. That's just, we're gonna think women are attractive. That's what we are made to do.
Just like you're gonna find men attractive. It just is what it is. It's fine.
So that's my answer to that question. Like, no, that's bad advice to try and get rid of them, especially if they're close friends, because you're gonna have influence over them. And if you just shut them out completely,
right,
it's not like they're never going to have friends again.
Yeah.
They're going to be in isolation. Devil's going to attack them even more. And then now, instead of them having good friends and good influences, they're going to have bad friends and bad influences. And they're going to have influence over them.
Interesting.
So to whoever said to get rid of them, that's terrible advice. We want to help people. We bring them closer to God, not just shut them out. We need community. We need people. We need good people around us. And just because there could be some bad people around you doesn't mean that they're always going to be bad.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be in the community and use your influence to help them get better.
Right.
So, and what's your answer to your long question?
Well, first, to my long
question.
Well, first, because I thought about something while you were talking. You have influence over your friends have influence over you. And I think that when you are friends with good people who are doing things better and would want you to be doing better, I don't even think you would feel comfortable coming to them and saying, oh, by the way, I cheated on my wife this week, guys, high five.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And because I'm thinking about, like, if I put in my friend group chat for all my friends, like from Maryland, and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, I'm stepping out on my girl, they be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What?
My best friend ever said
like,
that.
I will hit you.
Yeah, I bet. Come on, bro.
Like, it's one of those. So when you have good people around you, that's not even something that you feel comfortable sharing. I think.
I agree.
And I think that might go into why, like I said, especially we may not even know that our friends are doing. And if they do feel that comfortable coming to you guys and thinking that they're going to get a good response from that, then maybe we need to figure out what the dynamic is of this place. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the older that we get, as I am no longer a child, I put away childish things. Okay, cool.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? It was fun in high school. It was fun in college, but we 30. Well, you're 30. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Not to cut off your answer, but that made me think of something too.
Yeah.
Is that, if now I'm like thinking like, if my friend ever came up to me and like try to brag or say he was going to go like cheat on his girl or his wife or something, I'd be like, yeah, bro, you're so stupid. But also thinking about things is like, since we're about to go on another bachelor party, is that some of them, they have a rule that there's not allowed to be any girls at bachelor parties because of me. Because I always brought them or had them. So it's just funny to think like that used to be the rules. Like, you guys are going to the bachelor party, but like, there's no girls allowed because they are always new. Like, I'm going to bring girls. Yeah. Or I'm going to find them. Yeah. And that's a rule. That's a rule. Like, hey, no girl. And it's so funny because we're about to go on another bachelor party. And my buddy who's married, we're going to stay in the same room. And his wife's like, no girls. I'm just like, that lifestyle is over again. But I was like, it is still a thrill to talk to, new girls in new places. Like, it is still fun and stuff. But I'm just like, it's like, yeah, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm not bringing a girl to the room with your man in there.
Yeah.
But last time, I did. So that's why there's no
Okay.
That's why the rule is there.
Brandon is the reason for the rule. Brandon rules. That's
it was a Brandon rule. So it's just funny. I mean, I was single all the time, but it's like I just I have a thing for at bachelor parties that I always.
I mean,
they get married, and I'm getting into a situationship for this trip, and that used to always be a thing. So that's why it's funny that it's a rule now. But and we're staying together next weekend. So Cleon would be doing the live next weekend by himself, and he's gonna be. We're gonna share a room together in Vegas. And she's like, "No girls." I'm like, "Yeah, you ain't gotta worry about it. We're on a long no sex streak, so we good, man." It's like, I ain't gonna bring in any girls and ruin the streak, man. I'm doing good by the grace of God.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm all for holding people accountable, but I'm more so interested in the result of holding them accountable. I think that's a large problem even with today and how people handle things. A lot of people are okay with just some sort of symbolism. Oh, if you see something, you need to say something. And I'm like, okay, so after you've said something, then what?
Yeah.
It stopped there, right? What change did it make? You can feel like, especially with people on social media, they don't agree with something. They feel like they have to say something. And my question is always, what did it change? Where's the follow up? Where's the change that you want to see? So if I'm going to be holding somebody accountable, I'd like to hold them accountable enough to know that they changed after that. Because me telling you, hey, that's bad, and then walking away. Okay, so now that they're gone, it's like when your parents are there versus when they're not looking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not sitting there long enough to understand that change happened. And that's what I'm more interested in. You know, I'm like I said, I struggle with the idea of people feeling like the verbiage of it is enough, or you feeling, because it makes you feel like a good person or a better person because you spoke up. You know, you spoke up. I did the right thing by speaking up, and sure, that's the right thing. But after that, there has to be some sort of change made. Otherwise, what was the point?
I think you can make them aware.
Yeah.
So it'd be the same thing in the girl that we were just talking about a little bit earlier. You know, in her long-term relationship, and the guy cheating on her. It's like, where were his friends? What did his friends do?
Yeah, that's a great question.
They can't stop him, or they can't control him.
Yeah.
And she had even found out previous times and still took him back. It's like, people around him are not necessarily condoning the behavior, but they're allowing the behavior.
Yeah.
And the only thing you can really do, and this is a person that's quote unquote a man of God, you know, from what she said, he's the reason that she has a relationship with God. And I think that's amazing.
That's a beautiful thing.
Sometimes.
And maybe that's all she needed to get from that relationship, and maybe it's time to move on.
Literally. Amen. People are in your life for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. Yeah. So now it made me lose my train of thought. That was powerful right there. Powerful enough. And that's what people are there for. But it's like, the only way you can really change somebody that's in your close friend group that is doing bad things or treating their spouse incorrectly is to be the best person you can be. Yeah. Because you have influence over them. So be the best person that you can be. Talk about the growth and the changes and challenges that you're going through as an individual with your friend. Yeah. And be a positive light in their life. The only thing that I would say that you can stop being friends with somebody is domestic violence. Somebody that is abusive, handle them physically, and then, hey, you go do your own thing at that point. That's the only situation I think, there's lost cause at that point. You start to put your hands on your wife and do it consistently, we're going to not be friends anymore after that. Right. That's the only thing. Everything else is like, there's a growing process to it. There's a growing process to that, but they're on a whole another different level. They need jail time and Jesus. Yeah. the two J's, baby.
Jail time and Jesus.
Jail time and Jesus to get better for you.
Yeah, I think that part of it, we kind of have to treat it like, you know how they do like AA and you know, NA is kind of like, obviously there's steps to this, right? You don't bring an alcoholic into the room and say, hey, stop drinking, and then walk away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're there, hey, you know, so it's there checking in, like, hey, you should not be acting like this. You made a commitment to your partner. You need to stop acting like this. Okay, hey, check on the next week. Hey, man, I seen on your story you was going out. How did it go? What happened? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Did you do? Okay, so remember we talked about, you know, it's about being, unfortunately, right? But it's part of the process. If you really want to hold somebody, especially somebody that you care about, that's in your life, and you want to hold them accountable, you got to be there to, if you really committed to that, be there helping them through it until you get to the change that you actually want to see. Otherwise, saying something once and then walking away, it's almost as good as falling on deaf ears. Do they appreciate who you are? Do they appreciate your opinion? Absolutely, because you're somebody that they care about in their life. But there's a lot of people that they care about in their life, and a lot of people have probably told them a lot of things throughout their lives that didn't mean that they made a behavioral change. Like, these things sometimes are lifestyles, and that's really what I talk about a lot, especially for people who, I think I've used the verbiage, people who have been perpetually single, then trying to jump straight from that into a fully committed relationship. I'm like, you're asking a person basically who's never worked out in their life to get on a consistent gym regimen. Yeah, they're gonna jack it up.
Yeah, gonna take time.
You know, so it's a time and it's a process until they get there.
For you guys to help you guys understand how relationship dynamics work.
Yeah,
in all different aspects.
In all different aspects. So it's time, it's energy, and it's effort. And if you do care about these people who you want to hold accountable, then you are gonna have to be there longer than just saying, "Hey, stop that," and slapping them on the hand, essentially.
Yeah, it reminds me of like kind of like what I was doing, and kind of living like double lives. You know what I'm saying? Was it? No, COVID's and my pastor left, but I would say like maybe 2019. So even before I started working nightlife, you know, it's like 2019 when I started going back to church. 2018, 2019, I started going back to church. But you know, I wasn't living fully like godly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was still going out partying, sleeping with women, all that kind of stuff. So it's like you can't really change somebody exactly. Like, you can't change them. Like, you can only be there and try and help them. Like, people used to try and say like, you know, hey, probably, you know, get your stuff together, grow up, whatever it may be. And I would do just crazy stuff, you know, go party, drink, all these kind of things. And then things would happen. People, oh, that's just Haley. That's just what he does.
That's just who he is.
He's just a crazy man. You know, he just does some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He's the center of attention. He goes out, he parties. He just does some crazy stuff.
Center of attention.
That's what he does. So eventually, you know, you grow up and you change. Like, but nobody forced me to do it. Nobody made me do it. I had to do it on my own, and I had to have the will and the want to do it.
Right.
And to not live that double life anymore. And that's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was like going to church, trying to learn about God, but trying to learn about him one day of the week. Yeah. As a convenience. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to church. I'm doing the right thing. I'm a good person. That's what I'm doing. It's like, no. God is a relationship. You have a relationship with God. And that's somebody that you talk to every day. That's somebody that you learn about every single day, whether it be 10 minutes a day, 2 hours a day. Right. That's something that you got to do daily, not just once a week. So it just made me think about that. And that's what some people are doing. They're living that double life. Yeah. They can claim Christianity. They can claim to love God. And on the backside of it, they cheat on the girl or gaslighting her, whatever you guys want to talk about, you just got to understand, like, that's their journey. And if it is your best friend, you can't leave them. That's their journey. Let them grow through it. But you can't just up and leave them. And you're going to have that in relationships. We talk about, you know, most recent one, you know, people that you think are going to be good, they can do bad things. Yeah. But that has nothing to do with you. It's all their journey. You can make them aware of the problem. Yeah, absolutely. But they got to fix it. So I think that's all my 28 cents on
all 28 of them.
That topic. I had another thought, and then it went away as I was talking about that. But yeah, you know, that question just kind of really reminds me of like my own life and through my own growth. What I wanted my friends to just be like, hey, not that I was like getting into relationships and habitually cheating.
Right.
That's a little
Brandon
bit
wants to make it clear he was
Yeah.
not cheating on his girlfriends.
I had no girlfriends and just a lot of lady friends.
Be Haley to Harley, man.
Yeah. Just had a lot of lady friends at the same time.
Yeah.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
He's a friendly guy, man.
Just, nothing out of the ordinary. At all. You know what I'm saying? But we don't live that lifestyle anymore. So
Right.
thank God for growth, man. I heard Philip Anthony Mitchell, the preacher, say that he used to call himself a hoe. Like he said he's from the streets and stuff. He's like, yeah, I used to be a hoe. I used to be a bed hopper. I'm like, that's a crazy
bed
term.
hopper.
He's like, yeah, I was in and out of these females' beds, man. I'm like, it's crazy. But it's like even somebody like him who just grew up, but blew up on social media over the last 2 years. We didn't know who Philip Anthony Mitchell was 3 years ago. He just blew up by the grace of God because God knows a lot of people need to hear his word. He's so real about it. It's like, that's what he used to do. And I just feel like that's exactly what I used to do.
Right.
And thank God for growth.
Thank God for growth.
He grew through God. He didn't have, and if you listen to his story, it's pretty crazy testimony that he has. He grew by getting closer to God, like God pulled him out of that. Your friend leaving you is not going to make you automatically want to be a better person. Their life can make you want to be better, and then growing closer to God will make you want to be better. But if you just cast somebody out, they're going to find bad people to fill it with. So that's probably the worst thing, in my opinion, that you could do.
Okay.
And that's all the thoughts I got on it. Any other final thoughts that you got on it?
I mean, like I said, it's a process and it's a journey. At the end of the day, the only person that's going to change their behavior is them. Once again, I think we agree on the fact that you should make them aware that this is a problem. If that's somebody that you care about and they're living a certain life that, and going down a certain path that you don't think they should be going down. But to leave them when they need somebody to kind of help them on that journey may not be the thing that gets the change out of them. Like I said, you might feel good about yourself because you spoke up and said something to them, and I think that's a shallow way to go about it because you now feel better about yourself. Yeah, I told her, yeah, but you didn't stay long enough to make sure that the change actually happened. And if you want change to happen, you have to be there until it does, ushering that along.
And it's just like disobedience and intentional disobedience to God. Because I've been disobedient forever. And I just don't even realize it. Until like this year, I started actually being more intentional. And you have to be intentional with your growth in your relationship with God. Started to be more intentional. And I realized like, well, I've been very disobedient because there's a lot of things that, he'll use other people to talk to you about. And my pastor even knows this because he's known me now for like 10 years since, we started doing life insurance stuff. It's like, yeah, whenever I see you not listening or being disobedient, I just let you do it. I let you go learn on your own.
Let you go touch the stove.
Yeah, exactly. I told you not to touch the stove, and I told you where you should go, but you still went and touched the stove. So once I see you heading to the stove, I just let you go now. And I'm like, that makes so much. He's like, yeah, I've been trying to tell you this whole time. I'm like, yeah.
I'll be here when you get back, but
literally, he's like, yeah. So just listen to me.
Yeah.
And listen to God, and you're going to be okay. And it's just the same thing. It's like you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes some people are just so trapped in this ideology that they can get away with it, or they get a rush from doing it, or they're just emotional intelligence is so low that they just don't even know because that they're gaslighting.
You might be the best person in their life to help them teach something about like this, and you're deciding to walk away from because they don't have any other good influences around them.
Well, sometimes the spouse walking away from them is the best thing because that'll teach them a lot.
That'll also do it.
But your best friends shouldn't because they got to be there for you. All right. You got anything else?
No, man. I'm good.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in the topic of community, since, that's how we kind of started this conversation.
Yeah, that's what I said.
We do have our Patreon that is in our bio at Real Deal Convos. It is free.
Yep.
For now. Probably like $5 a month once I figure out how to do that. But right now, since we're going into the fourth quarter of the year, it's just going to be an accountability group. So join the Patreon in there. Ask any questions that you have about your relationship or your friend's relationship, whoever it may be. If you have any questions, you can talk to us in there and we will respond. And we'll just use it for accountability group for our goals to stay on track for the fourth quarter. Other than that, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys listening to us. And we will see you next week, I believe. Live, it'll just be Cleon. So we'll see you guys then. Y'all take care.